I still remember the night it all began, under the pale silver glow of the moon. I was sitting by the fire, my hands raw from tending the horses, when I first heard her voice, soft, almost a whisper, carried over the crackling flames. "They say you need a wife," she said, her words hesitant, cautious, but somehow piercing straight through me. I froze for a moment, unsure if I'd heard her right. Then I replied without thinking, "Then stay here, with me." Did I make the right choice in saying that? Was I wrong to offer her something I didn't fully understand myself? Tell me, would you have done the same thing? I can still feel the weight of that night pressing against my chest, the way the desert air seemed to hold its breath along with me. It all started weeks before that night. I'd been riding alone across the Apache lands, searching for work, for some sense of purpose, and perhaps for a place to belong. The small town I drifted into was rough, filled with folks who'd seen too much, done too much, and trusted too little. That's when I met her, an Apache girl, quiet, but her eyes carried the kind of fire that could ignite the plains themselves. She moved like the wind, silent and graceful, always at the edges of the town, watching but never intruding. I didn't know her name at first, didn't even know if she spoke English fluently, but there was something in her presence that felt like home, like a story I'd been waiting to stumble into. The days leading up to that fateful night were full of stolen moments. I'd see her near the river drawing water, or tending a small fire outside the settlement, her silhouette outlined against the crimson sunset. We didn't speak much at first, just nods, brief smiles, but slowly, as if drawn by some invisible thread, our conversations began. She told me bits and pieces about her life, her family scattered across the land, her people wary of outsiders, her heart guarded because she had seen men come and go, promising everything and delivering nothing. I told her of my wandering life, the endless miles, the dust in my lungs, and the loneliness that had followed me like a shadow. Somewhere between the confessions and the laughter, the tension built, quiet and simmering, until that night when she whispered those words that would change everything. That night the wind was sharp, slicing through the canyon as I invited her to stay by my fire. I could see the hesitation in her eyes, a mix of fear and curiosity. "Are you sure?" she asked, her voice barely more than a breath. I nodded, trying to sound braver than I felt. "I am," I said, and just like that she came closer. We talked until the stars burned out one by one, and for the first time I felt something I had never allowed myself to feel. Hope, tempered with the thrill of risk. But even in that fragile peace, I knew the world outside our firelight would not let this be easy. There were whispers in town, rumors of outsiders, of men taking advantage of women, and I could see the shadow of those stories in her guarded glances. So that's the situation I was in, and I had to make a choice. Before I tell you what happened next, I want you to pause and comment below what you would have done in my shoes. Would you have trusted someone so quickly or walked away, leaving her to the uncertainty of a world that might never forgive her or me for our choices? The decision was made before dawn. A group of men from the settlement had been watching us, their intentions as clear as the knives they carried. They approached the fire, leering, expecting me to run, to let them take what they wanted. But I didn't move. I stood my ground, and with her hand in mine, I faced them. The confrontation was tense, every word like gunpowder ready to ignite. I don't remember much of what I said, only the desperate clarity in my own voice as I told them that she wasn't anyone's possession, that we were together, and that no one would tear us apart. After what felt like an eternity, they backed off, their eyes dark, but their courage not enough to match the resolve in mine. When the last of them disappeared into the shadows, I turned to her, relief flooding me, and she smiled, the kind of smile that could heal decades of pain. That night by the fire, we truly became a unit, not bound by words, but by choice, by trust, by survival. In the aftermath, life didn't suddenly become easy. We still had dangers, still had those who doubted us or wanted to see us fail. But we learned to navigate them together, every sunrise a testament to the bond we had forged under impossible circumstances. She became not just my companion, but my equal, my partner in every sense of the word. And I learned something I hadn't expected, that sometimes, when the world whispers its fears and doubts, courage isn't about fighting alone. It's about standing with someone who trusts you enough to stay. So here's my final thought. Sometimes the right choice isn't safe. It isn't easy, but it's the one that defines you. If you were on my side, like this video, subscribe for more stories like this, and share your final thoughts on this whole mess in the comments section. Did I do the right thing, or did I risk too much? I'll see you all in the next story.